Welcome to the Enchanted Ears podcast,
where we discuss anything and everything Disney.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Joe, and on today's episode, we are recapping our very festive trip to Walt Disney World, where we got to experience not one, but two holiday parties, which is why we are very festively dressed here.
We are.
So we went over Thanksgiving, and we did Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party one night, and then the second night we did Jollywood Nights.
Yes.
And this was our first time at Jollywood Nights. This was our second time at Mickey's, but last time we went was like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
and I feel like everything that happened was completely new. I was like, I don't remember any of this exciting stuff happening last time we were here. So kind of completely different experience. So we're going to recap kind of both of those experiences and what we thought of each party, which one was our favorite, which I think we disagree on which one we liked the best. But we'll get into that. So if you're interested in going, there's still some time to go this year. They're probably all sold out though, so probably no time to go this year. But if you're interested, maybe you want to go next year, because Disney did announce like they're going to have Jollywood Nights and Mickey's Very Merry next year, and I'm sure there'll just be like even more stuff to do versus this year. Kind of good like recap for it. So you want to start, because we started first night was Mickey's Very Merry. Yeah, and so we'll start there. And I will say the interesting thing is we did these very differently. We had very different approaches versus a couple months ago when we did the Halloween party. And part of that was, and they're very different experiences at the end of the day, because we went to the very first Halloween party, not planned. That was just by happenstance. When we happened to be there, it was the first party. But I feel like it made for much more enjoyable experiences not being at the very first night of one of these things, because it was not so insanely crowded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is one of the things that can't be underestimated about these Christmas parties, and I actually think it might be a strategic choice potentially. If you're a person that is interested in going to the Walt Disney World parks, you're going over like the Christmas season, which basically spans from August till December.
August is Halloween.
Oh, my bad.
August to October is Halloween.
You're right.
And then basically like the second week of November is the holiday season.
Yes. Yeah. So November to December.
Yeah.
But if you're going in that 2-month span, I would almost recommend not like, and I don't know what the cost like comparison is from a 1-day park ticket to a Mickey's Very Merry Halloween party.
Very Merry Christmas Party.
Very
Merry. It's not so scary.
Yeah. I was thinking about
that's a good. A Very Merry Christmas Party. Very Merry Halloween Party. I like that.
Very scary Christmas party.
Yeah. No, the party tickets are definitely more expensive than a 1-day ticket.
By a lot.
I mean the max price for the Christmas party tickets is over $200. Now I will say, you do get. I mean, Disney has started adding some freebies
a little value
to these. So all the parties you get free PhotoPass photos. So all the photos you take during the parties are free. You get, so like at the Halloween parties you get candy. At Very Merry's you get free cookies, and they have a variety of different cookies and
then
like hot chocolate.
Yeah,
cider.
There was hot chocolate and cold apple cider.
Yeah. Jollywood, there weren't free snacks. No. There, and Jollywood's cheaper than Very Merry, but both of them you get an ornament. They give you like a keepsake, like you get a free like nice little ornament, which we definitely did not get an ornament when we did Very Merry years ago. So this was like a new thing. So they're adding some stuff to it, but I think if you're going at a busy time, it's over $200 to go to Very Merry. Now I'm sure at that time, if you want to go to Magic Kingdom, a 1-day ticket's probably still going to cost you like $170.
Yeah. So what I was kind of getting at here was, if you're willing to maybe pay a little extra and you're not going on a night that is going to be like the first one. I mean, we were there over Thanksgiving. We did it on, I think it was the Friday.
We did
after Thanksgiving. Was it Black Friday?
Saturday. Yeah, we did Friday and Saturday.
So it was Black Friday, and it did not feel overly crowded. Kind of skipping ahead a little bit, when we went to watch a parade, we showed up about 7 minutes before the parade, 7 to 10 minutes before the parade started, and we got a perfect viewing spot where somebody who's 5'6", well 5'5", can see very clearly. Like it wasn't like the normal, like, I don't want to say, it's not like we have arguments over it, but like the normal thing where I'm like, you can see, but I can't.
We were right in front of the castle.
And we were right in front of the castle.
Show. There's a parade. It all happens, and it's very well planned. Where like things just happen one after another.
Yeah, that was really I did.
All the parties are like that.
I enjoyed that a lot. Where there was a show in front of the castle. Then I believe that was the first thing, right? Was there the show?
Yeah. So there's the Frozen. There's the Mickey show. Like Mickey and Friends have a show. There's the Frozen surprise where Anna and Elsa come out, and then the parade happens.
Then the parade, and then fireworks
do happen. There was like an hour in between because then those shows happen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically we stayed. Okay. We got there. To your point, so we'll kind of jumping ahead. We'll get to that in a second because the other thing I wanted to mention. So the different approach we took. So what we did for the Halloween parties, we went to go see Jack and Sally right away and ended up waiting 3 hours in line to see them. So we said, we're not going to go for characters right away. Because the nice thing about the parties, and this is kind of where you're getting at too, is like, if you're there, maybe you don't buy a park ticket that day because the party, so Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party was from 7 until midnight. Is when the party ran. So it was 5 hours. Jollywood was 7:30 to 12:30. So it's still 5 hours, just a half an hour different. But you can get in the park a couple hours early. So you can get in at 4 p.m. at the Magic Kingdom for Very Merry. And so 3 hours early. So basically you can have 8 hours in the park. So you don't need a park ticket that day. And then Very Merry, you get in 2 hours early. So you get in at 5:30.
And they do limit the attendance, I think, a lot more than they do a regular park day.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of what I was getting at when I was talking about being in front of the castle. But like we rode Tron and we walked almost on. Like we got to the, like where the ramps are going down to the car, like the light cycles. I think that's where there started to be a line.
Yeah, you're right. So we got in early because we had tickets for the park because we had annual passes. So we got in at like 3:30, a little bit before the wristband distribution because that happens at 4. So yeah, so we walked on Tron and then we got our wristbands for the party because that's right over in Tomorrowland. And then we did the Jingle Cruise.
Which that actually is a good tip for anybody who is does have park hoppers to like show up to the park a little bit early because people start to sort of filter out because they know a party's coming and then people are slowly filtering in because they're getting ready for the party or whatever. So it does create like a cool day, like a lower day over in kind of whatever park is having the party. I think a lot of times people won't choose to, specifically the people that don't have park hoppers, like just the one day like ticketed, like you're going to this park. I don't think as many people show up to that day.
Oh yeah, because we were there. We were at Magic Kingdom the day before on Thanksgiving.
Oh, it was packed.
And it was packed, and everything was like a 45-minute wait. I mean, everything was. I mean, we walked past Small World, and it was 45 minutes.
Yes,
and we're like, we're not waiting.
We didn't
for this.
ride Small World this time.
Whereas, yeah, to your point, Christmas party days, because the park, if you have a ticket that day, the park closes at 6, so it's very limited. So you're either not going to go to Magic Kingdom that day or you're going to leave early because there's a party. And then all the people that just have the party tickets, they're kind of all waiting out front in a corral until 4 o'clock to get let in. So you have that window. So yeah, I mean, basically 3:30, we got in, we rode Tron, we got our wristbands, rode Jingle Cruise. We had dinner around 6 o'clock. So basically in 2.5 hours, we rode Tron, got our wristbands, rode Jingle Cruise because that was the lowest wait it had been because that's pretty popular, the Jingle Cruise, and got dinner, and the party's not even started yet,
right?
So that's like we got a lot in, and we're like, let's go ride some attractions, let's go do some stuff, and not just go wait for a character meet and greet because again, it's not new. We figured the lines. What we learned too from the Halloween party at the end of the night, if you get the first parade, the second parade, you can go do whatever you want because everybody's at the parade. So we kind of played it differently, and it did work out because again we got a lot of stuff done, and then basically the party starts at 7, and the first thing we did was ride Space Mountain because this is the nice thing, and with the Very Merry Christmas party, a lot of the attractions have overlays. So Jingle Cruise is always happening. That's not party specific.
During the holiday season,
Yeah.
and it's Jingle Cruise.
But like Tomorrowland Speedway, they have like a holiday overlay where they kind of put like
So they put decorations
on it. Same with like the Teacups, Alice in Wonderland.
and they were playing Christmas music on Teacups,
Right.
I believe, as well.
Right. But then Space Mountain, it is red and green lights in there, and they play holiday music. And it is the closest you can get to riding it with the lights on. So, like, if you ever wanted a guaranteed ride Space Mountain with the lights on, just go during Mickey's Very Merry, which is hysterical because the Halloween party, it's absolute darkness. There's no lights at all. And then for Very Merry, it's the most lights I've ever seen it. Like, they do a great job on Space Mountain during the holiday parties. Like, if you go to a Magic Kingdom party, go ride Space Mountain because it's phenomenal no matter what overlay they do to it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because there were so many red and green lights. Like you were saying, it was pretty, like at points, very easy to see the tracks and to see like the gnarledness of how like many tracks there are all over the place. So that was really cool to get to experience that because, again, a fantasy of ours is always to get evacuated from rides, which, foreshadowing, did happen. Not the way I would have chosen though.
Right.
But yeah, like it was really cool to get to experience that. I think that was probably, besides riding Tron, because I love Tron, the highlight, like ride wise, of my night.
Yeah, and the thing we didn't do, and I didn't even think about this, but I saw somebody like post a video, is ride the People Mover. Because the People Mover goes through Space Mountain, and if the lights are on, you could see it, but like you get a much longer kind of view of it with all the holiday lighting and the theming in it. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Space Mountain was a lot of, like, that was a good overlay there. I mean, I do think, we talked about like you get an ornament, you get a gift, you get free snacks. They have these holiday overlays. It's not as crowded. I feel like the parties are kind of like the purest form of Disney parks. Like when people think in their mind and they talk about like the parks don't have the same magic they used to. I think people are thinking back to a time when the parks weren't as crowded, when you did have freebies, because you got free fast passes. You got, it wasn't $8 for a Mickey bar. Like things were a little bit more reasonably priced. And I feel like the parties are kind of like that purest form where it's like you can't just walk on Tron, or you can't, Space Mountain, it's got a cool theme to it. You can't just walk up and get some free cookies and you get free photos and you get a little treat, and you can walk up 10 minutes before the parade starts and you still get a great spot.
Well, it doesn't.
The sad part is you have to pay
like
$200 plus to do that. And so it's like, I don't want Disney to start charging $250 for tickets so that nobody can go to the parks anymore.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you have to feel like Disney could do this at a cheaper price, unfortunately.
I think that they very much complicate things. I think that for a regular person, Disney is very complicated as far as like, oh, what rides do I need to like plan to ride early because it's going to get like really, really crowded? What rides do I need to get in something? I guess there's no virtual queues right now, I think, on any of the rides anymore.
No, nothing has a virtual queue.
So like you don't have to worry about that, but you still have to be aware, hey, this one, Tron is a newer ride, so it's going to have a longer wait time. Or Seven Dwarfs is so popular that it does always pretty much have a wait time. And even Peter Pan, this is a ride that's really old, but it just like attracts people, like very, like lots of people ride it. And I think that maybe the throughput on it isn't very high, so the line is generally pretty long. So like those kinds of things and like forethought and planning for somebody who's coming to Disney for the first time or maybe the second time, it does definitely create like a customer satisfaction issue because of that. Like I do think that there should be a way that you can scan your phone and wait, like you just go up to the ride or something, or just like have a virtual queue, but then it says, okay, like now if you go on now and show up in the next 10
it's lightning
minutes.
lane. And that's what it is.
It is a lightning lane.
It's paid. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. But something like that where you're just, I don't know, like you can wait in line, or even like not a lightning lane. Like maybe you have to walk over and scan your phone, and then it says, okay, here's your place in line. Now show back up in.
It's fast pass. Again, you're explaining lightning
I
lane.
am,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, because with a lightning lane, you don't. You
But
can
that's
be
how fast pass
nowhere
worked.
near it.
But that's how fast
can
pass
be-
worked. You
Yes.
used to get the ticket, and then
Right.
they've just.
But I
they've
do
moved to
think that
digital.
something like something like that.
But
would,
they don't have that at the holiday parties, though.
No,
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, like overall, I think that
That's
would
gonna
help with.
No, that's going to ruin satisfaction because
You
now
think?
you're making me walk over to Space Mountain to get a ticket
Okay.
to then leave and go walk
And have to
over
come
to
back. Yeah.
Jungle
Okay.
Cruise because that's where I have to
All
go
right.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you're
that's
right.
no. So,
All right.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't work in logistics.
I get what you're saying though, but again, it's just with the less crowds, it is a more pleasant experience, and you do feel like, hey, because again, you're walking up, here's some cookies, here's some hot chocolate, like
Yeah.
you get a little, like you feel a little bit more of like, oh, they're not trying to get every last cent out of me, which I
Yeah.
think is
And
nice.
I do think with the Halloween party, I mean, we recouped probably half of our ticket price in candy,
100%, 100%.
and we didn't even try that hard to
The
get
other
candy.
thing is, like, the parades are so much better. I mean, so the parade, so it's Mickey's Once Upon a Christmastime parade is the parade at the Very Merry Christmas Party. And I know you like the Halloween parade better, but there are so many cast members in it, like dancers in between each section of the floats. There's a ton of floats. There's a ton of characters. I mean, you have Mickey and Minnie, like you have your classic characters there. Like Goofy's there in like some sort of like candy machine. It smells like candy when they come through.
I did like there were a couple floats that had this candy smell.
Yeah.
That kind of trailed them.
You had the toy soldiers, just marching toy soldiers. They were phenomenal looking.
Well, they were cool and they made loud noises
Yeah,
whenever they
as
stomped.
they were marching. But like the number of cast members in that parade are phenomenal. Like you compare that to like the new nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom, that Disney Starlight, where it's like 4 or 5 floats. There's a couple people in between. Even Festival of Fantasy. I mean, that's a really good parade, but it's still short and not as many people compared to the Halloween parade, compared to the Christmas parade. Like, they're spectacles. I mean, it takes them 20 minutes to kind of come through and see everything because of how many people are in there. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, the song maybe wasn't as catchy as like the Halloween song, the Boo to You kind of coming through. But I really enjoyed seeing like all of those floats and everything.
I think of all of the forms of entertainment that we saw at Mickey's Very Merry, that was the best done. Like I did enjoy the holiday theming on that because I like you brought up the nutcrackers, like the toy soldiers, nutcrackery things.
Yep.
And those were really cool because they were all like very uniform, and then they all like marched in like concert with each other and like kind of created like this beat. Like you could tell
rhythmic noise.
That took some work on their behalf of training and things. And they're also tall, like they're very big. They're not like a regular size human, like
They
they're
look like
oversized.
toys. Like,
and
they
they
look
look,
like toys,
I mean, they're cool in the same way that the little green men over in
The Army
Toy
Men.
Story
Yeah.
land are cool. So, but those ones are different in that they're just like they're normal human size. These are large.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that was I think my favorite bit of holiday theming overall from probably even like both of the parties is that particular detail. And the parade in general like was the best part I think of Mickey's Very Merry for me.
Yeah, I definitely think Mickey's Very Merry leans more on the entertainment side of things. There's a lot more shows and parades and fireworks and things going on. So like we mentioned, we went to the early shows of everything. So Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration happens in front of the castle. That was at 7:40. So like you said, we got there. I mean, I feel like maybe 7:30, maybe 7:15, maybe it was a half an hour at most before. And we were literally right in front of the castle, like on the other side of the road, right in front of the castle. So we saw that show. It's a cute show. I mean, it's basically Mickey and Minnie, like they're hosting kind of like a holiday party, and the friends from Fantasyland come in. Donald Duck comes in. They have the three amigos.
Donald wasn't there originally.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Daisy was there, so it's basically like them getting the group together. But it's a cute little show. After that, the Frozen Holiday Surprise happens at 8:15. That's only once a night. That's Anna, Elsa, and Olaf come out.
That was fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. And again, that's a quick thing. It's at 8:15. It's right before the parade. It's a nice little buffer between you have a 7:40 show. They kind of come out. Then the 8:30 parade happens. Now, again, the parade starts at 8:30. I want to say it was probably 8:45 before the first float got to the front of the castle.
Yeah.
Like it takes some time.
It took a while.
Yeah. But so we got through all of those. Again, we kind of got there maybe 7:30, and in an hour and a half just kind of stood there and saw basically all the shows they had. And then it allowed us after that, because so it kind of circles through again. So basically the Mickey's Merry Celebration happens at 7:40. That's the first one. It also happens at 9:25, 10:35, 11:55.
Yeah.
There's a second parade at 11, and then the fireworks show happens at 10, and that's one time. So that's Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Time fireworks show. So we had a little bit of time after the parade. So we went and walked around a little bit. They have some really cool specialty photos. There's a really cool like light painting photo.
Oh yeah, that was right off to the. I mean, it depends.
To the right of the castle.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're standing on Main Street, it's to the right of the castle.
Right. We were like, because after the parade was done, we're like, okay,
we
let's
just accidentally kind of ran into.
Yeah, because we were like, let's go over and go like ride some stuff. You know, like let's go like do a couple things, get some snacks, like just kind of go see what's going on. And I happened to see like these cast members there, and they were like light painting. I was like, this looks kind of cool. Like let's wait in line for this. And I thought it was more light painting, but it actually makes like a pattern.
Pictures,
yeah, it actually makes like a pattern in a picture that was done. And there really wasn't a long line, so that was really cool to kind of just like stumble upon that.
Mm-hmm.
And so so we kind of explored a little bit, and then went back for the fireworks show. What I loved about it was Tinkerbell flew.
Yeah, I was not expecting
that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I thought it was a solid show. I mean, it's not necessarily like Disney. I mean, it's not Happily Ever After. I mean, let's be there. It's more like holiday theme type thing. So
No. So yeah, my critique of the whole thing, whether this is fair to give or not, is that when I go to Walt Disney World, I am not going to hear Christmas music or Christmas carols. I do not. Even if it's a Christmas party, I don't mind to hear some. I liked it. Like I know that they played Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." There's a couple things that they were playing, or like
it's
even
a
playing
Marshmallow
it.
World in the summer. I heard that like 40 times.
They were playing it in the background as you're walking around. Okay, that's fine. But like, I did want the mix of Disney music and holiday music. I think that they could do that really well. I think that they could do mashups. Like you could do something where like there's tons of people on the internet now that do like song mashups. And so they could do something like that where they sing, I don't know, Let It Go, and then it changes into, I don't know, Silent Night. I mean, not Silent Night, but like something like that where it needed to be more well integrated so that it is both uniquely Disney and also Christmas.
I think it needed something that like tied it in more, that this is like Minnie doing this. Because I will say for the Halloween party, the giant Jack puppet comes out before the fireworks show. Like he kind of comes out in front of the castle and kicks the show off. And it's like, hey, this is a Halloween show. He kind of kicks it off. This is Minnie's Christmastime fireworks show, but like it kind of just
Minnie was sort of absent.
Yeah, it kind of just happens. And to your point, it's so I mean, if you like Christmas music, if you like fireworks and projection mapping, it's fun. It's cool to see Tink fly. But at the end of the day, it's an okay show.
But it is not a thing like, you know, Happily Ever After, where they show the scenes of Disney movies up on the castle, which then stirs those feelings and reasons why probably you're over at Disney World, is those movies have a very special place in your heart. So I didn't feel that strong connection it, which is where
honestly they just showed Happily Ever After. I feel like I don't know that people would be that upset if you got a viewing of Happily Ever After with less crowds.
Oh my gosh, amazing!
I don't think people would be that upset by it. So
it
is interesting, but it's still fun. I mean, it's still a kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
to see.
but I will say it is something to me, like, so kind of like, I don't know if you're done talking about like the part. I know we did. I think we did do a couple.
Were you going to say that would be the thing to miss if you were going to have to skip something?
I wasn't, but yeah, I could say that. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything about that castle show that is necessary.
Yeah, I do think the parade you want to see. I think, you know, the Mickey show and the Frozen thing. Like, I think those are cool to see.
I think the Mickey show
they're unique enough.
And the parade are probably you should go see.
I think if for some reason it's like, hey, there's a character I want to see, and the only time I can go is during the fireworks show. To your point, maybe you watch part of it and leave early.
Yeah, we did that.
We did that Jollywood Nights. Or maybe you skip it. So, like, I do think you can kind of play around with that. So after the fireworks show, during the kind of the second parade, we went to see Jack and Sally because we learned from the Halloween party, like, go when something else is happening. It was like 15 minutes. We walked basically right into the room where they were. They talked to us for so long.
It felt so long.
I was
to the point that I felt guilty.
Yeah, to a point where I was like starting to like put my arm around you of like, it's got to be picture time by now, right? Like, I think like, hey, if you guys want to take a picture, we're okay with taking the picture now.
Because I was along. Yeah, there's other people.
I didn't mention. So I was dressed up as the greatest Disney ride character of all time. I was dressed up as John from Carousel of Progress, which is closed during the Christmas party. I wanted to ride it dressed as John because everybody knows, because everybody out there is a super fan and stays awake for the entire attraction and makes it to the last scene on Carousel of Progress.
Wait. I have to pause you right here because this is a funny story. So I had a couple things this past like 2 weeks of at my job that like the kids said something that like my jaw dropped. The thing that a kid said to me this week, he had just gone to Disney and he came up to me and he goes, do you like Carousel of Progress? Like, I was just sitting there, like, because it was the end of the day during dismissal. And I was like, I sleep through it usually, but my husband really likes it. He's like, I really like that ride. He is 9 or 10 years old. And he comes up and doesn't bring up a roller coaster, doesn't bring up a thing that you would think a 9 or 10-year-old would bring up. He brings up Carousel of Progress. Yeah, and it was the best. So funny to me. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
So I was dressed. So the very last scene, for those of you who maybe make it, 5 minutes in, like you do, and fall asleep.
I stayed awake
You did.
Very, like, I was alert this time.
Not at the party, because, again, it was closed.
Yes.
But the last scene takes place during the holidays. It's a Christmas scene. And so I dressed up as John from that scene where...
You would need to shave.
I have, yeah.
And dye your hair, because John goes from being a brunette, like a light brunette, to having like almost black hair.
Jet black hair. But he wears, he has this holiday sweater, and he has this apron that says, "My Food Rocks." So I got the apron that says, "My Food Rocks." I walked around. That's why I dressed up. I was like, I'm dressing up like John for the party. I went out in front of Carousel of Progress. I got a few pictures. I will say, I wasn't sure how well it would be received. There were a few cast members that were like, I love it. This is great. One cast member told me, they're like, shouldn't you be over there? Like when we were in Tomorrowland, I was like, it's closed. I got the night off or what, so it was a lot of fun. But I say all that because when we met Jack and Sally, Jack sees my apron and he walks over and he goes, Sally, maybe he can cook us the ginger dead men. Can you cook? And then they go on this whole thing. I was like, that's not a recipe I know. And they're like, well, we'll show you. It turns out they're gingerbread cookies. They walk us over to a tree.
There's a ginger dead man on the tree.
Yeah, and they're talking about like, do you have the ingredients? We need some ginger. And we're like, well, you know what? We have some ginger cookies that they gave us. We could use that. And they're talking, and it's like, what else can you make? And I was like, I could do pies and cakes. And he's like,
my favorite part was when he said, can you make candy? And then he asked if you could make buttered fingers.
And he was like, that's why I lost my teeth. And Sally's like kind of making fun of him.
Sally said, that's how you lost your tooth before Jack. I think it's this one. And she pointed to his missing tooth.
And Jack was just like riffing on stuff. Sally, I told you, looked like she was trying not to laugh. She was like smirking at some of the stuff he was saying. It just kept going. You asked him how old he was. He's like, well, I'm dead, so who knows? Like, I don't have an age once you're dead. They just kept going back and forth. And again, I was like, don't we need to take a picture? Like, I thought this was like a, hey, keep on moving. And we took some photos, and they were even still talking to us after. It was a great interaction. It was it was so much more enjoyable than the Halloween party because we waited 5 minutes for it. They talked to us forever, and probably because it wasn't that crowded, that's why they talked to us for a while. It worked out, and then I mean,
I feel like they talked to us for a while at the Halloween party as well.
But it was a lot. I mean, we walked over. They
really
were showing us the tree. They were talking to us about what we're cooking. I mean, it was a while. It was a lot. It was awesome though. And then we got out, and then just got right back in line for Mickey and Minnie. When we got in for Jack and Sally, I think Mickey and Minnie were only like 20 or 30 minutes. When we came back out, it was like a 45-minute wait, but we only waited a half an hour. So I think in total for both of those, we probably waited 45 minutes, which was perfect. So like it was a great way to end the night because we had already done everything else. So we got some attractions in. We got to see all the shows. Those are the only really characters we wanted to see. There are other characters, but we really
I think there's like Santa Goofy, which we did years ago. We got like photos with that. So there wasn't anything. I think Anna
and Elsa are at like the Fairy Tale Hall. Like I think they're the visiting princesses, but like we didn't really care about that. We got a bunch of cookies too. We went and got all the cookies.
There's a lot of those characters too that like because we do run Disney events where I'm just like these kind of pop up, and so I'm not like I don't have to run and see them, or like I didn't love like Donald's costume or anything, so I was like I don't have to like go out of my way to see Donald or Daisy or anything.
I do want to say Jack is dressed as Santa Claus.
Yes, which that's why we also wanted to go back and see.
I do have to say though, you flabbergasted Mickey.
I did
because as you see, we are wearing and if you're just listening, we're wearing matching spirit jerseys. It was
we have
very
last
cold.
year's.
We have very cold.
We have last year's like the light blue sparkly spirit jersey. If you're just listening,
it was very cold at the party. So I gave Angela when I changed because I wore this to the parks and then I changed into my holiday sweater for my John outfit. And
I
so,
can't even remember what all I was wearing. I wore a coat.
Yeah, and I said, if you're still cold, you can wear my spirit jersey. So you had two spirit jerseys.
So I was wearing my size spirit jersey, and then also Joe's over top of it, and then also my coat, and I was still cold.
But so we went to visit Mickey and Minnie.
When we went to see Mickey and Minnie, Mickey pointed out that he was on my shirt. And then I actually said, you know what? I love you so much, Mickey, that I actually have you on my shirt underneath, which is the exact same one.
Blew his mind.
And it blew his mind. It was kind of hilarious.
He told Minnie, and then he came over to me and he was like, do you have the same shirt on underneath your shirt? And I was like, no, I just have a white shirt on it. And he was like so disappointed because he was like, how do you have two shirts on? So it made for a couple good back-to-back things. So that was basically Very Merry, which was a lot of fun. The next night we went to Jollywood. We got in a little bit early. Wristband distribution's 5:30. We got in about 5 to Hollywood Studios. We rode Runaway Railway first because, again, it wasn't a very long line. And then we got our wristbands, and all you get there is just like a little pack of M&M's minis. That's like the only free snack you get. There's not free snacks the rest of the way out. And then they give you your ornament on the way out.
Which was nice.
Yeah. Very Merry gave it to you whenever you checked in. Jollywood Nights is on your way out. So be sure when you leave, like you don't skip that. And you get your ornament.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I was happy. It worked out really well for us because you did have an outfit planned for, like you mentioned, for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, but I really didn't. I didn't have a specific thing that I wanted to wear, so I was just wearing like this spirit jersey. I kind of flew by the seat of my pants, but we did have like outfits that we planned for Jollywood Nights, and luckily Jollywood Nights that night was not nearly as cold. It was probably like 40, I think. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
It was like 10
day.
degrees warmer at Jollywood Nights.
And then Jollywood Nights, I believe, was like, I feel like there was like a
it's
pretty
the
decent
50s or
so. Like the 50s, and it was there was like a little bit of a chill in the air.
Yeah, and Jollywood Nights, the theme is kind of like old Hollywood, basically like Tower of Terror time, like the 1930s, like old Hollywood, kind of like glitz and glam type thing. So a lot of people dress up a little bit more. So I
think you usually, it's like a 20s gear.
So I had like a fedora, and a vest on and stuff. So
yeah, you and I were a little mismatched because I couldn't really.
I thought we were matched well.
Yeah, well, you looked more 20s. I was just dressed up, just because finding something that would be comfortable to wear to the parks that I want to walk around in is not super easy. If I was gonna wear like a flapper dress. Plus,
again, you didn't know
I
also
knew
like.
I knew that the weather was going to probably be colder, so I had like a full velvet like outfit, which turned out being like the perfect temperature. I was not cold at all. But yeah, like we dressed up, and like Yeah, you looked like you were almost ready for Dapper Days. A couple people even said that. Like it was.
I also had like sparkly shoes. I had like
yeah,
red
people loved
sparkly
that.
tennis shoes. Yeah, so
A couple people
really
complimented
stuck
you.
out. Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun kind of dressing up. But the other thing we tried to do before the party started, we went on Rise of the Resistance because it wasn't a very long line. We're like, hey, let's hop on there before this party starts because we had a little bit of time.
Well,
And in line, I said, wouldn't it be cool if it broke down?
you did
When
say
we're
this.
on this, I said, wouldn't it be fun if it broke down and we got evacuated?
Yes, hang on. But before you go into any of that, what didn't we see like extra when we were in the back scene, like whenever we were in the vehicle that moves around and like the one pre-show?
Yeah, it was delayed a little
I
bit.
almost forgot about this, but we
got caught in a tractor beam and like paused there for a while, and they're like, it's pulling us in, and they're like, try to like escape, and like they like rev the engines a little bit because it needed like a little bit of a gap. And then even when we were getting interrogated, there was like it took an extra minute before they actually like started that scene. So it was a little delayed, but we didn't wait very long. But I said that I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we got evacuated from this ride and we got to see it? I was correct. We did get evacuated from the ride. The ride did break down, except for the fact it broke down. I kid you not,
8 feet.
I was gonna say 5.
It was like 8.
8 to 10 feet from the exit. We get out of the Star Destroyer. We see Beck. We find him. He's okay.
We go straight toward Beck. We curve around. Our vehicle is moving backward to slot into the little place where
and then all of a sudden it jerks to a stop and all the lights come on.
Yep.
And we went, whoa, what happened?
Yep. And so then, Joe, you know, we always joke. You always joke whenever we're on the ride. Like, you'll always be yelling at, like,
I'm
the
going to give up the
you'll
base
be like,
and everything.
You'll be like, it's Picara. That's where the base is located. Well, as soon as we're sitting there for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, there's like a nice cast member.
Because I thought I was going to restart. I thought I was just going to like, oh, we'll just finish sliding along and be okay.
Yeah, and there's like a nice cast member there, kind of like, oh, hang tight, guys, you know.
Yeah.
And you go, did this happen because I told them where the base was? And then he actually didn't like hear your joke.
I don't think he heard what I was saying.
But like he explained the whole thing to you.
Right. Yeah, they mentioned it. Because I was thinking, hey, this is just like, you know, you're in a haunted mansion. It stops for a second and then it just keeps going. Again. No, when Rise goes down, it goes down. He said basically a car got lost. And I was like, what do you mean it got lost? If any one of those cars goes off their deviated path for half a second or so, I mean, it was like I think
he said half a second.
Half a second, the whole ride shuts down. And that's a safety procedure. I completely understand why. So somewhere a car got offline for a split second, the whole ride shuts down. They have to evacuate the whole ride. And then he proceeds to tell us, yeah, they got to evacuate the ride. Unfortunately for you guys, you're the last car to get evacuated because they start from the front and work their way to the back.
But my favorite part is they start from the front and work to the back, but the car behind us, which was actually even closer to the exit, there was only one car closer. They were probably 2 feet from pulling in. That car got evacuated before we did too.
We were literally
the last car.
So people start walking out and they're
like pointing and laughing at us almost.
Yeah, because we're sitting there buckled in. We can't do anything. And you go, how was it? And they're like, it was amazing. And you're like, oh man, we've just been sitting here for like 15 minutes. The best part is they let us out. It is so shut down. We can't go out the normal exit doors you go out. They had to let us out, and we still had to, like, right in front of us, had to walk through an emergency exit door.
Yep.
It was insane.
And we waited at the door, too. It was like they closed the door, and it took them a while to even get it back open, which was also kind of strange.
Yeah.
But the other part that was funny was I'm sitting there, like, obviously kind of, I don't want to say I'm bored. Like, I'm not bored, but at the same time, I'm, like, a little irritated because I just keep thinking if this would have happened, like, 2 minutes sooner,
we've been right in front of Kylo Ren.
We would have been in the middle of the ride and gotten to walk through the ride with the lights on. So, like, when we say we want the ride to break down, that's what we want. We don't want kind of what happened.
Yeah. Now, I now know I have to be more specific. Wouldn't it be fun if the ride breaks down mid-scene halfway through, not 3 feet at the end?
Yeah. Exactly. But so I everyone in our car was was on their phone, obviously.
Somebody literally walked out with a camera filming the entire thing.
Oh yeah, but that was the best part. So there was a man who walked out filming the entire thing, showing everything. I pull my phone out and just zoom in and take a picture.
I will say you were very like he at least kind of hit it. You were like,
I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'm taking a picture.
I was not like that bad, but I zoomed in because there was a first order like person standing right next to a rebel, and they were standing in front of Beck's like at the very end where they have that cool little like animatronic back in the like little vehicle, and I like zoom in and I got yelled at for having my camera out.
You gotta be a better spy. You were
like, I was okay.
You were like this. Hold on, stand still. I gotta see you two together.
Okay.
Look pretty.
I mean, I definitely did hold my phone up like that, but there was none of the other things. But I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, funny. I was just like, oh, lady, come on. We are the last ones to get evacuated. Throw me a little bit of a bone.
She was definitely the person. I will say, she was a first order person, so it's kind of in character.
Yeah, kind of in character, right?
But she was the one leading everybody out, and I'm sure she deals a lot of that, like people getting their phone. Like she's probably been yelling at everybody for the past 10 minutes, put your phone away.
Well, it was funny though, because you did point out the man literally filming the entire thing. He was like
this. He was cool about it. But again, the person that actually let us out, you were joking with her of like, oh, you're working together, and she was like, don't tell anybody. Like
I was like, oh, so I see that you're a rebel spy, and she's like,
they were
keep
cooler.
it under wraps.
They were cooler about it.
So that part was cool, like getting to see, obviously, right? Like obviously they're all just employees, but it is cool because they don't mix in the ride. You don't see the rebels and the first order people together.
Well, safety, safety's number one, and that
right. And so like I was just like, oh my gosh, this is the keys, and safety is like the number one key. So that's really cool that we get to witness this. So like I was Disney geeking out.
Yeah. So we got a lightning lane. We didn't use it, but we did get a lightning lane. I will say, despite us being the last ones evacuated, we still got out before everybody in the queue because we got out and got our lightning lane, and there were still people coming out of the queue. So it kind of worked out. So it was fun because we basically got to ride the whole ride. And we got a lightning lane.
We did get to ride the whole ride. Yeah. We just didn't get to go out of
We didn't get to ride the whole ride.
We did not get to go out of the
There's 7 feet that I did not ride on that ride. So by that point, Jollywood had started, so we kind of started going to some of the events and things that were happening there. The one thing I'll say, the difference between Jollywood Nights and the Mickey's Christmas Party, Jollywood Nights is much more character heavy. It seems to be the draw is get your photo with these characters and
these very rare
characters. And the chance to ride attractions at relatively low weights because there's no parade.
I thought the entertainment though was great.
Yeah, but it's much more geared around that because like Mickey's, there's parades, there's a big fireworks show, there's stage shows, like there's big draws to kind of get people away from stuff. Whereas like at Jollywood Nights, the weights for the characters never really dropped much at Jollywood Nights because there's no like parades or like huge entertainment. Like the first thing we went to see was the ice skating, which is right in front of Runaway Railway, but that's not like a huge draw for people. The biggest draw that happens is the fireworks show, and that you can kind of get a little bit of a drop there.
Yeah,
but like,
and we did.
Right, we did, but like for the most part, if you want to ride rides, you're pretty good. But there's not really like hey, 8:30, there's a parade that everybody's going to go to the middle of the park and you can go get a lot of the character photos. Like Chewie was like an hour wait in his Life Day robe. We walked over 2 or 3 times throughout the night and it was an hour plus wait every time. Like it never really dropped, to like a 20-minute wait or anything like that.
We did happen to get, what was it,
Partysaurus Rex.
So he had a really long line whenever we walked by him the first time. And then that was something in the back of my head. Like there were several characters. I would have liked to have gotten Chewie on Life Day, but I wasn't willing to be like, all right, literally it's Chewbacca in a robe.
We got that like Life Day orb because when we walked off Rise of the Resistance, they were setting up a Life Day orb photo. So we did get that. So we kind of got a Life Day photo, just not with Chewie.
Yeah, just not with Chewie. But I was like, that is, I don't necessarily need that photo, but I really like the Partysaurus Rex because first of all, Rex is not a really common character to begin with. Mm-hmm. They don't bring him out very often, but then he, in addition to that, like had a really cute little like outfit on and he looked really adorable. So when the fireworks show was going on, and it was sort of more of the same from the night before, where it was like, oh, there's cool projection mapping going on. Oh, there's Christmas music going on. I will say I felt like the Hollywood Studios party might have had a little bit more of a story, because there was like something with the gingerbread.
Elves. So it's called Jingle Bell Jingle Bam, and it's like these elves going around for Christmas. We watched like 5 minutes of it, and then we're like, oh, because they say, oh, it's a laser projection show. I was like, I kind of want to see what it's all about. And it's just, we watched a few minutes of it. I was like, okay, I've seen enough. Let's go.
Yeah, so
let's go get in line for a photo. And we did. I mean, that was maybe like a 15-minute wait, but that was like the only time of the night I feel like where it really,
like, it dipped.
It dropped.
Yeah. So we went and got that photo, and that was cute.
But then again, we went over to Chewy after that, and it was still like an hour.
Yeah, it was a long time.
So there's a lot of character meet and greets there. So you have Phineas and Ferb, Max's Powerline. You have the Rescue Rangers, Baloo or King Louie, Stitch dressed as Santa, Donald and Daisy Duck, Mickey and Minnie. You have Scrooge McDuck, Bing Bong, Mandalorian's out, which is fun because you mentioned it's like this is your chance to get a picture with the Mandalorian, because typically when he's out, like he has to choose you.
Yeah, he points and you get to come over.
Chewbacca was there. We mentioned Partysaurus Rex, Bo Peep, Lotso, and then Duffy dressed as Santa. Again, Duffy was another one where it was like he's inside, and they actually had a wait time, and it was like always an hour, so we didn't go there. And then Miguel is another one. So again, it's very character driven.
There were a lot.
So,
Bing Bong is the other character that I probably would have liked to have had.
And
my
we
photo
saw
taken.
him because he's out kind of right across from where like Muppets used to be. So we at least saw him there.
Yeah,
so.
Because you even commented you didn't realize he has like a raccoon tail essentially.
Yeah.
But like it was, there was so much to do, and again we did the party the night before. We rode a lot. So yeah, it was.
Partysaurus Rex was the main one we wanted to get.
Yeah.
And it was like a rave over there. It was awesome. Like it was fun. I would have liked Chewbacca, but he doesn't hold the life day thing. It's just him in his robe. So it's like, that's okay. Again, I didn't want to wait that long. Duffy was probably the only other one.
Yeah, we were in line for Chewbacca, and then we had to wait because they switched out and it took a while, and then we're like, okay, look, we were gonna wait
because we wanted to see the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
because we didn't have a lot of time. Like we were like, okay, if this is at like 45 minutes, maybe we can wait. But then we got on like a changeover, and we're like, we want to go see this Muppet Show because it was the last show to see. So we do that. Yeah, Duffy was probably the only other one I would have waited for. I would have liked to have gotten, but I didn't want to wait that long. So so we saw the ice skating. So that was the first show. So the shows there, Glisten. That's the ice skating, and they're legit ice skating.
That was cool. I really like nothing inherently Disney about it, but that was really cool.
They sing Disney songs. They were singing. She was.
There were a couple Disney songs.
The woman
that
is singing a Disney song. So that happens 5 times a night. So it's 8, 10, 9,
that
10.
That was really cool.
10:30, 11, 10, and 12. Yeah, I really like that. So
and also I feel like even if you see like ice skating, you've seen other ice skating competitions and stuff, I feel like you're usually above it. We were below it because you're below the stage.
Yeah, you're below the stage,
which is cool. Like it creates an interesting effect because you're looking up at it.
I think it's amazing they have an ice skating rink in Florida outside.
Yeah, and it was definitely like at first I thought it was maybe one of those ones that acts like an ice skating rink,
legit, yeah.
But it was definitely an ice skating rink because the one skater was definitely doing like triple axles or like
one guy was juggling and ice skating.
Yeah,
which was crazy.
That was wild. But yeah, that was a cool and unique show.
Yeah. And again, that's one you can walk up to like a few minutes beforehand and get a good seat because basically they make everybody in front sit down.
And the crowd management on that one was excellent with if they had lines taped off and they said if you are coming in for and sitting in this section or in this section you must be seated. Yeah. So again, proof that Florida can actually do that.
It's just for that. It's just for that show. Because they even said for the fireworks, everybody has to stand. So it's just because, again, there's not as many people and they can do that. Before that, though, before we saw Glisten, we went to the Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along, which was not what I was expecting because I was expecting more like the Frozen sing-along where the actors sing. This was more like interpretive dance. And we sang, but it was still a lot of fun.
This was a full-out stage show.
Yeah.
Like they created something, which was really cool. That for me was probably one of the highlights of the entire night. I thought it was really, really interesting because it basically comes out and they use the like lore of Nightmare Before Christmas as like, hey, we're gonna tell you a story.
Well, Jack
Hey,
comes out.
and Jack, well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
he comes out, and it's the same. I think it's the same puppet.
Yeah, I think they're
from
the Halloween party.
The Halloween party, and he's huge and really cool looking. And then he basically tells you like, hey, well, you're going to see a story of some people and their like interactions with, I don't know, our world.
It's
or
basically
something.
their interactions, and then like Oogie Boogie comes out, and they just played the song. I
But
mean, it's
like,
cool.
and it's really cool because the actors never speak. I think they might make one noise. Like they don't ever,
it's
they don't
basically
speak.
interpretive dance.
They like
the whole
interpretive
time.
dance their way through and interact with objects, which then kind of trigger songs happening. It is a really artsy, cool show.
Yeah.
And like kind of understated in a way that Disney isn't understated. So it was cool.
Yeah, and I guess it's, when you think of like sing-alongs, you might think, oh, like the Frozen sing-along, it's for kids. It's not like that. I mean, if you like Nightmare Before Christmas,
I feel like kids would hate it because it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I could see like adults. Like, I think Jollywood Nights is maybe more geared towards adults.
Yeah.
Again, like lack of parades type thing. You might think, oh, like that's not for me. But if you like Nightmare Before Christmas, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend doing it.
It was really cool.
So we did those. We went over to Tower of Terror because they have the Tip Top Club, which is kind of this like, they're like undead musicians playing, and they open up kind of the backstage area, make it kind of like a speakeasy type bar area. So I want to check that out, kind of see live music. They play a couple.
Which was cool.
Yeah, they play like 6 or 7 times a night. They do a little bit of a show, and then we rode Tower of Terror, which was basically walk on. We like at one point I was like, is there anybody else even on this ride? Like,
Which
the
is
car in front of us, I
hilarious.
think, had like 5 people on it.
Which is hilarious because earlier in the day, I had waited in line for Tower. It was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be like a half an hour. It ended up being like an hour. It was like quite a wait. And then we just walked on.
Yeah.
I don't think our car was even full.
No, the cars definitely weren't full. That's what I said. The car in front of us only had a few people on it. Our car had, seats empty. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then they do the projection mapping on Tower of Terror, which this is the thing, and I did not look. I'm fairly certain the projection mapping on Tower of Terror used to be something they just did at Hollywood Studios during the day. I do feel like the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam fireworks show, I feel like that used to be a show that happened at Hollywood Studios. Like, I think those two things, when they started Jollywood Nights, they go, oh, we're not doing that as part of the park now. Now you got to pay a ticket. Like, I do think that's true, or something similar to that, which is a little bit frustrating, where they're like, hey, we had this as part of the parks, and then you're moving this. So.
If you have the ability to project on the tower, I do not understand why you wouldn't. The thing that also...
it was like an awakening. Like, they had that, like when they were doing the awakenings with like Tree of Life. They definitely did that on Tower of Terror. The fireworks show, I'm not 100% sure on.
The thing that I thought was really cool was down, I think it's Hollywood Boulevard in front of Tower of Terror. I can't quite remember if that's the name of the road, but basically they had snow. Like, Disney loved this
snow
fake
everywhere.
snow
everywhere.
everywhere. This fake snow. And it was like such that it didn't like dissipate very easily. Like, you kind of had to brush it off. Like, it was...
Because it's like soap, basically.
But it was soap that didn't like pop. It was more like solid soap, but tons of that. And they were like had those machines all the way like at the end of Hollywood Boulevard, and
I
then
think it's Sunset Boulevard.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, Sunset Boulevard, and then they had lasers that they put off because then there were particles in the air that were catching
when that was happening.
All of the lasers.
That was when the projections were happening on Tower of Terror.
That was so cool.
Yeah,
that was a
really
really unique and cool touch. And again, it kind of does make you be like, oh, if you can do this, why don't you do it more?
Again, they definitely did that. Because again, they were doing all those like awakenings at all the different park icons, like Tree of Life had that, Tower of Terror. So like they've moved that again. I'm not sure the fireworks show, but yeah, that's a little frustrating where they're moving some of that stuff away. So we did go see Partysaurus Rex during the fireworks, which is weird to be just on the other side of the Chinese theater where it's super loud and there's a show going on, and then you're on the back side of it and all you hear is just explosions.
Yeah.
Like, you can't hear anything that's happening in front of it, and you're just like, what's going on? But then after that, we went to see, because we wanted to see the last show, the Muppets, the Disney Holidays in Hollywood, which is hosted by Kermit and Miss Piggy. phenomenal show. Tiana was in it. Belle was in it. Mickey and Minnie were in it. It's a live show with Kermit and Miss Piggy. That ended with a lot of snow, because that's what you mentioned, snow. Yeah. That's when we were covered in snow. Like, everybody was just absolutely covered in the snow. But that was a really fun show, and I really liked it. I think it's very popular. You have the Muppets. It makes you miss of, like, Disney needs, like, they need more, like, proper shows like that to have in the park somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, my thought on the show was Kermit and Miss Piggy were the highlights for me.
Yeah.
By far, because they were, again, uniquely Disney. Once they started to have the characters come out and sing, they were singing Christmas carols. And to me, I'm like, you don't give me a show and then you give me Christmas carols? Like, are you serious right now?
I love how you're the Grinch in all of this.
I am.
I don't want Christmas music. I just want Disney.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is Disney music, okay? Like, to me, yeah, I was just like, this is, again, I want a mix. I don't mind the Christmas music, but I wanted...
Well, that show was a mix, I feel
like. I think there was maybe one Disney song.
It's a mix at least of Disney...
It was Disney characters singing Disney songs.
And it fits more in with the Muppets, because they're like, the Muppets are always putting on shows. Like, I feel like that is more...
I felt...
more of a fit type
I
thing.
felt like it was really awkward, because I felt like if it was Muppets, then it should have been a bit of a farce. And so it was like the two of them having their little...
It kind of was, because Piggy was trying to do a bigger show. For me, it was a nice mix, because it was Muppets, and it kind of had that feel of, like, from Tokyo Disney Sea, Big Band Beat, because they had a live band there.
Right.
They kind of had a big band playing.
What kind of songs?
Christmas songs. But it was a Christmas party, so it fit.
No, they were
for
singing
me.
Disney songs at Big Band Beat.
But it fit for me. You know what I'm saying? It was a good mix. My whole point is just a show like that, where it's kind of a Broadway style, big band style, you know, not just Mickey and Minnie, because I feel like so many of the shows at Disney World are just Mickey and Minnie shows. You know, it's not these other characters where you go to the other parks. And yeah, you have, I mean, at Hollywood Studios, you do have the Beauty and the Beast show. That is the one show there, and you have Indiana Jones. But, like, I feel like, you know, at Disneyland, when they had the Hyperion Theater, it was the Aladdin show. It was Frozen. Like, they would try their things. You had the Captain America show. Like, they had talked about building a theater at Magic Kingdom. And I still feel like they need that. Like, Walt Disney World is missing what a lot of the other parks have of these big theater shows that I really like. And so it was fun to kind of have this one. Again, yes. The parties are to me, like, the purest, best form of the parks. And this is kind of just another example of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, a lot done. I think we were both pleasantly surprised that we were able to get through everything we wanted to get through. Again, maybe we didn't get one or two photos with a couple characters we wanted to do. We probably could have went and waited for Duffy, because we had some time at the end of the night, but it was like a couple nights in a row of midnight, 1 a.m. We're like, it's okay.
And we knew too, because we stayed at the Swan and Dolphin. We stayed at the Swan, or the Dolphin, I lied. Or the Fish, as I like to call it. We learned it's a nautical dolphin. That's why it looks like a fish.
Yes.
So it's like old maps, like basically a fish, but yeah.
Nautical
anyway.
dolphin, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway. But we knew that because we stayed there, getting back was going to be just a little bit more complicated. Not complicated.
Because the boats weren't running.
Right.
So they did have buses coming, but we just walked because it was like a mile. So
yeah. So we did we walk? Yeah, we walked home.
Back. Yeah. We took the boat coming, and that's when they said, "Oh, the boat's done at like 9 or 10." We're like, "Oh, okay, we can."
Yeah, and so we knew that it was late, and we're like, we're gonna have to walk back, which is fine, but. You know, we feel relatively awake now. I don't want to push it too much.
Yeah, we were kind of done. We were like, if we get a picture with Duffy, is that going to change our lives?
Yeah, and
some people may say yes, but no.
Yeah, we kind of looked at it and said, we have so many photos with Disney characters and we don't display even a quarter of them.
We wanted to see the shows. We saw the shows. You know, at Mickey's, we saw the parades. We saw the fireworks. Like, we got to do everything we wanted to do. And again, I did not feel like I missed out on a lot. Didn't feel rushed or anything. We got to ride attractions. Like, it was, you know, for 5 hours of the party plus a couple hours beforehand, you got through a lot. and it was good.
Yeah, the aliens, was it the alien swirling sausage? That was the one other thing that I kind of wanted to check out a little bit.
Oh, because they had like holiday.
I think they had all holiday lighting and things. But
that is
again, music.
And
it was, I think, like what they did over at Magic Kingdom with the teacups.
And that one I think was really the only one, because again, Jollywood Nights is much more geared towards the characters. There's not any overlays, maybe short of alien swirling saucers. There's not really any like official overlays that they have. There's not like free snacks or anything. There's not a parade. It's really more about like seeing these rare characters.
But I will say, no love lost there. The snacks at Magic Kingdom were,
they're free cookies okay.
At best.
So which one out of the two, what was your favorite? Like which one would you go back to and do again?
Okay, so Magic Kingdom had going for it. Wait for it.
Oh my gosh. Come on now. All right, nothing.
The Magic Kingdom one had a cool parade, but for the amount of money that we paid for, like...
So you prefer Jollywood?
I don't think that it's necessarily worth it, except for to go to the Magic Kingdom and have it be way less crowded, which was super nice. Even like the access, because you get special access to special merch. I didn't love the merch.
Yeah, we didn't get any merch. The merch wasn't that great either.
Yeah, like sometimes when you go to those things, they have cool merch. I felt very much like they phoned it in. They were like, hey, people go nuts for this stuff, so we don't have to try that hard. It was just like a red shirt.
I feel like the merch during the day was very similar to I didn't feel like the party merch was any...
Yeah, that's
different. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't like love the Very Merry Christmas Party. I also will say it was tainted by the weather and it being that cold. I do not enjoy being that cold.
It was very cold.
Yeah, and like I was double fisting hot chocolate because, and I don't love hot chocolate. It doesn't make me feel super great. So I just was keeping my hands warm.
You're just using it for hand warmers.
But then and then I made the fatal error of when I did drink most of the one and then I like poured the rest of it in because I thought I was getting
warm apple cider.
And it was cold apple cider.
So you had a lot of things going against Mickey's Very Merry. But you enjoyed Jollywood. So you like Jollywood Nights.
Jollywood.
Okay.
I loved the Jack Skellington show. I loved the Glisten show. I thought that like going there and like being able to ride tower and have it be walk on was great. I would probably go back and see like Chewie in his life day. Like there was enough things there that I think that I wanted to do that we didn't quite get to do all of it.
You could have probably gone back a second night and just done photos. And just spent time with the photos. So,
right. Like I felt like there were more offerings over at Jollywood.
Yeah.
And like also like even the live band and music would have probably been a lot more fun. I felt like, it was maybe a waste of time to chill out there.
The tip top club.
Yeah, but like I also saw like, I've seen other people like spend time there and like dance and things like that. And we were dressed up. It would have been maybe nice to stay. And if we had already gone, maybe that's what we could have done.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think this is where we disagree because I preferred the Very Merry Christmas Party.
Why?
See, I'm somebody that like, again, to me, Jollywood was more about the characters and Very Merry was more about holiday overlays on attractions. I really love Space Mountain overlay. It's parades, it's stage shows, it's fireworks.
But none of the stage shows were that impressive.
Yeah, but to me, it was better than, like the ice skating stuff. Like, I just feel like Jollywood was more like, hey, we're in Hollywood Studios. Come see rare characters. There are some shows. I think at Jollywood Nights, the Muppet Show was the best thing. The Nightmare Before Christmas, that was cool. Again, it wasn't necessarily what I was expecting from like a sing-along. No. It was cool to see the puppets.
Well, I think that people did feel awkward on that. Yes, because it was like the characters weren't singing. And so it was like, is this a sing-along or is this not? Some people were like singing out loud. Some people were like, should I? Because I feel like I'm interrupting.
Yeah. The ice skating show, again, it was interesting. But like the fireworks show, like we said, we kind of saw a few minutes and we're like, this isn't that great. We left. Like, it didn't feel as strong overall to me, where I feel like you have, Magic Kingdom still had some unique characters with Jack dressed as Santa. The parade is great. It's a great parade. Again, better than anything you're going to see during the day. You have the fireworks show, tanks flying. It's the castle. It has all that magic. They have, fun holiday overlays on the attractions. I just feel like it is a more complete party. And and maybe also because it's the Magic Kingdom, like that just, is part of it too. But I felt like going around getting snacks, like there was just more fun, I felt like, to that. And I like Christmas music, so I'm okay with some of that stuff. Where some of your knocks are like, oh, they only play Christmas music. I go to these parties for some of that stuff. So for me, it just felt more complete.
It also could be because I think in general, I think you probably prefer the Magic Kingdom over Hollywood Studios, and Hollywood Studios is now low key my favorite park.
Yeah.
So like
I think that's what I said. I think there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of like those different factors in there, but also you're wrong.
I mean, I will say I really like Jollywood Nights. I mean, I would go to either of them. I would recommend, and they're different things for different reasons. If you're somebody that likes Hollywood Studios and you're more into, like, if you like Hollywood Studios and you want to have short waits on the attractions, go to Jollywood Nights, because there weren't very long waits for many of the attractions. You can get a lot of stuff done, see some cool characters, see some cool shows. If you're somebody that you love the parades and you love fireworks at Cinderella's castle, go to Mickey's, and go to the Christmas party, and you're still going to get short waits. Again, I just feel like it was a more complete party. They're kind of two different, groups that they're targeting, but I think it's good that we each like one, because then that means we'll just go back to both of them.
Yeah. So now comparing, the two parties in the Magic Kingdom, Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry.
I think the Halloween party, if you could have that in November when it's not 115 degrees out,
yeah,
I think that's the better party, because everybody's dressed up in a costume, which is just different. Again, you have the overlays.
And they're fun. They're fun costumes. They're not like, oh, I'm wearing a sweater.
Yeah, they're fun costumes. I do think the Boo to You parade is a better parade.
Oh yes.
You get way more candy. Like I do think that it's a little bit cheaper. I think that's probably the better party. The problem is it's just so hot. It's just so difficult. So,
yeah.
But
that was also
probably
an us problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's warm.
Because we went in the very first.
It's hot.
But September is going to be hot. But I bet October calms down a bit.
I think it was still pretty warm. It's warm a lot. But I would probably rank them Halloween party, Very Merry, and then probably Jollywood. 1, 2, 3. And they're not. Again, I could go to any of them. Like, it's not like it's 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're all right next to each other.
I do think that I would probably rank Mickey's Not So Scary above Jollywood.
Above Jollywood? Yeah.
I think. I really liked the parade for that. The parade was just choice. It was so good.
That's probably the best party.
Yeah, I think that was just really well done. I liked the decorations. I liked we had also a really cool experience with getting on the ride, getting on Haunted Mansion and stuff. But yeah, I think that is one I'd love to repeat. Yeah, no, definitely. Love to hear from our listeners. What's your favorite party? Are you planning to go to Very Merry or Jollywood Nights? Did you go this year? Are you planning to go next year? Let us know in the comments. Or let us know on Instagram. We're at Enchanted Ears Podcast over there. But that wraps up the show for this week. I want to thank everybody again for listening. If you've not done so, please leave us a rating or a review. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for lending us your ears. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you here next Monday. Bye-bye.